Hello! Yeah, I'm Natasha. This is Abesh. This is Claudia. And we're gonna show you a little presentation of how we audio people work and why it's harder than it looks, but also funnier than it makes now. So, we have a little snippet of the game already prepared for the demonstration. Okay, for the demonstration for adding some sounds by Claudia and some music by Alesh. And it's gonna be implemented by me in the game. We'll see how it's gonna work. So
yeah, maybe we can introduce the game.
Yeah, I can show. Can I show you? Can you show the game? Do you have the available? No. GIFs? No. Yes. Okay. The game is called Outcast Tales, and it's actually on Steam. And it's actually, it also already have the sound effects, but it's just one scene that we prepared. The fighting with that chubby little fellow. Just put one GIF here. So we're gonna add some sounds of his pain and his minions, like a bug, and there's gonna be a larva as well. What else? And we were gonna start with the document that we made, because first of all, the very first step when you work with any scene on any game is the event document. And in perfect situation, it should look something like this. GIFs are optional, but they're genius, made by Claudia.
I just didn't know what she meant by all the names of the files that she wanted, so I was like, is this what you want? Is this the sound that we're talking about? So yeah, just having a very clear reference of the animation that you're trying to put a sound to. If you're talking to if you're doing this yourself, which hopefully you'll get a bit of a better grasp on how to do after today, awesome. Well, just keep organized. But if you're working with someone who's doing the audio, having a very clear idea of what animation they're putting the sound to is very important. So this was just a way that we figured out on how to make it clear amongst ourselves.
Yeah, exactly, because there's three of us and we need to have like a very clear idea of what everybody's gonna do. So, if you think that, I have a small game, I only need like allow 20 sounds, no, try to do event list and you probably get 50 or more. A very good idea is to put either it's gonna be Foley or it's gonna be loop or just one shot, it also helps. And also in our description we added like the materials, which are vegetables that we're gonna need, or a lash spray in case of music. So anything else? Yeah. So yeah, let's start with the sounds. Claudia's time nothing. So applause.
So in summary, we have a game file, like a game project, and we're going to live place all the sounds, create all the sounds, create the music, and implement everything live in front of you. So this could go very wrong. This is a big experiment. Maybe you don't hear stuff, maybe we can't record well, but just since we're doing everything live, the one thing I want to ask you for my part at least is I'm going to record with a microphone. So while we're recording, no sounds. Like everyone be super quiet. No, not yet. So basically, the first thing I did when Natasha sent me the list of files was, okay, so how do I want to make this sound? Do I want to record it myself? So that would be Foley right here. Do I want to just grab it from a sound library? I'm sure you've all done that, where you just go to freesounds.com and you grab something off of the shelf. Or do I want to do a mix? Like, okay, I think this sound is going to be too complicated to record live on stage. So maybe I'll just grab the library sound and I'll record some stuff and layer it. So that's the first thing I did. And then I thought, okay, how would I like to make this sound? Which materials do I need? We wrote down the materials. And that's pretty much it. So let's get cracking. I'm going to make sure just for a second that I have my audio routed properly and my mic also. Oh, this is going to be confusing. If I play this, can you hear it? Yes. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, just to hold the microphone mostly. All right. And to keep me focused and on topic. Thank you, producer. All right, so the first thing I want to record, so as you see, we're gonna try to keep organized so that we can do everything in the time that we have. I made 1, 2, 3, 4 different tracks. Hopefully that's all we need. We're gonna record some pepper sounds. We were gonna record some cabbage. We're gonna record some water. And we're gonna record some vocal sounds also. So instead of thinking, okay, I'm going to record, now I'm going to make the monster boss attack, this where he shoots up with the tongue, and record the pepper and the cabbage or whatever, and make it. That would be very inefficient because then I choose the next one and I just have to record things again. No, I'm just gonna record a bunch of sound effects with each one of my props, and then we'll chop and listen and see which part of the whole recordings of each prop we want to use, layer them, and then use them. All right? So let's start with the peppers. Let's get to it. Okay. This should work. Yes, but let's just get some levels in there. There we go. A little less. Okay, so the first thing you want to do always is set the level of what you're going to record, and this is like the boring part of audio, but this is super important because if you record too low, there's noise in the cables. All electronics have their own base level of noise, right? If you record too low and then you crank up that the volume of that recording, you're going to have a lot of noise in the background. But if you record too loud, then the problem is going to be that you have you might clip and you might distort the sound. So I think we're good like this. Yeah, sounds good. It's not. We might want it a little lower. Okay, there we go. I think that's good, and we'll just hope for the best. All right.
They always have.
Microphone. This happens all the time. Saki Fernando.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think we have enough. Should we keep going? No. I have never been a quota for something so dumb. Thank you so much. You're a great audience. Thanks so much.
Okay. And then you grab all of that and you make yourself an omelet.
We don't lay smoke here. This is gonna be terrible. Okay.
The best. Here goes. Do we have a bat?
We'll just put it to the side, and it'll be later's problem.
So it's for the cooking show that we're gonna hold.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you can see, sometimes the biggest problem you have is not laughing at the dumb shit that you're doing. Sorry for saying shit. But again, I think that's why we love our jobs. We have the recording. Let's go for Cabbage now. Round of applause for Cabbage. It's gonna take some damage, so. All right. I think you should also record the peeling. Yeah. I think that sounds gonna sound great. Look, I'm gonna take off the. I don't really want the paper part. See, because I don't want that.
Yeah.
There.
The quick yeah. Yeah, that's another clear mistake.
Not yet. Not hitting record. Happens too many times. All right. A little further out, so I don't hit it accidentally. Oh, that's it. Should I do a fast one? Because all of us were slow. Okay. Yeah, you want to think about the speed of what you're animating. If you want it to be a long, slushy sound, you're not going to squeeze the pepper the same as if you want it to be like a fast cracking of bones, right? One's going to be like crack, and the other one's going to be like, well, clearly, as you heard. Okay. The hardest part of this is not going, hey-ya! Because you can't scream.
Safety first.
This is some surface tension stuff. We're not clipping yet. It's a good thing to check your levels while you're doing this, because sometimes you might start doing something a little louder and then you go back to the recording and suddenly you've been clipping. So just keep an eye out on. Okay. I think we get. Yeah. Okay. And that ends the vegetable section of my TED Talk. I love my job. Okay, let's do some water stuff. We're gonna get a little gross, because what I actually envisioned for the water sounds was the big boss when it has a lick attack, or when it gets hit, it has this pain sound, and we're gonna have some vocals with it, but I also wanted some like gurgling in the background. So I'm gonna gargle for you. I'm so sorry.
Don't make it hardly used.
gonna post it online willingly. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we should.
Okay, next, we're gonna record some vocal sounds. If I'm not mistaken, for the vocal sounds, we need a pane from the boss. Thank you. Thank you, producer.
Document.
Check the document. We need boss pane. We need not egg pane, because eggs don't make vocal sounds. We need monster flying pane, which I think was the very high squeaky thing. Monster ground pane, which can be a little less squeaky. Yeah. And hatch monster pane, which I realized I didn't make the gifts work. Okay. All right. So this is the time when we break the fourth wall. Can we have some volunteers? Oh wow. Jack, come here, boy. Okay.
What are we gonna need?
We're gonna need your best. Okay, let me show you. I'm just gonna give you all the artistic freedom in the world. What do we need? Where is it?
Like this.
Yeah. Okay. It gets hit and it goes something.
Something. Yeah.
Something. The better. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. We can do several takes. You don't need to get it right. We will do several takes. You don't need to get it right, but
I
yeah.
can't wait to put this on my CV.
Yeah. You're a Foley recording artist now. What have I done? Why is it blue?
It's an
Click delete it. Oh, look at that. Nothing happened. Oh, there we go. Okay. We're gonna start recording now and just go crazy. Amazing. I think we got it. Like, we're actually really, really good. Let's not do that. Another volunteer.
Yeah.
Damir! Round of applause for me.
That is my hammer goes.
We actually need some squeaks from you.
Me?
Yep. Give me a squeak. There you go. Good enough. Now squeak as if you're in pain.
Like,
Wait.
can I have reference?
No. Yep. Oh, yeah.
Don't.
No, I'm not gonna play any sound for you. I'm just gonna let you see this. You're the little fly.
In math.
Okay?
Okay, Jack.
Now feel the pain of being stabbed.
Don't.
Okay. Thank you for the sheet. Vocals. Jack. Keep organized. Vocals.
I'm gonna call him John Luigi. No.
Please.
Sorry.
What did I do?
No, you did it wrong. I did wrong. We had stuff playing in the background while we were recording. Okay, let's do it again. Okay, I did something wrong again. It was not on the right input. So, but you're doing great. Just keep doing what you're doing. Maybe. Okay. Those sound very sad. I want pain. You sound like a sad kitty. I want a kitty in pain. Perfect. We got it. We got it. Thank you so much. Amazing. Boss. my producer informs me that we need a larva. Who wants to do the last vocal sound effect?
Yeah.
Oh my god! Yeah, we can record one from each of you. The three of you, come up.
Yeah. Why not? You can release that.
Okay, let me give you the reference. You're this slushy thing. So you might want to be a little lower pitch than the insect. We're still going to repitch everything, so it doesn't matter. But you're going to be a little lower pitch than the insect, a little bigger, a little squishier. Are you feeling it? Okay, we're method acting now. Get in the skin of the larva. Okay.
Go inside the larder brain. Is it? Just again.
All right. Okay. Pause. Less air. Because I don't know if you can hear it, but we're getting like... Okay. Maybe if we get you a little further away. Try it. Okay, can I get a squill? All right. You got it? Thank you. You name it. Hey, you little larva, hey. Okay, very nice. Thank you so much. What's your name? Fernando. All right, so now's when the fun stops. Kidding. But now's when we're done recording, and now we're gonna start to cleaning up. And we're gonna be choosing different parts of different recordings, layering them. This is, I think, where most indie developers go wrong, or maybe don't go far enough when they're making their own sound effects, is that you just pick something from freestyle and slap it on there. You gotta make it your own. Think about what does your animation need, and maybe you need this part of the swishing blade, but you also need the crunching bones, the needy bits going all, right? So the number one technique when we're doing sound effects is layering. Then the rest is just fancy schmancy stuff with plugins and effects and stuff. All right, so let's take a listen. If I do this, can you hear? No. Okay, we'll fix that.
Those are the snacks for later, right?
Exact. Thank you.
Can you guys hear anything?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's low.
Well, not my, it's very low, okay. So first things first, let's crank it up. Ah, that's our pepper. Fantastic. So the first sound that we're gonna make is the boss attack. So we're going to need, from what I said in my notes, we're gonna need a layer of squishy stuff. Yeah, just a layer of squishy stuff, right? And an impact. Okay, impact, yeah. No, we don't have an impact. I forgot the impact. Let's do it. Super quickie impact. Okay. Just any piece of clothing works really well for making impact sounds. You do want it to be a bit more like heavy duty. Jeans work great, but anything works. All right. Or a leather jacket. Leather jacket works really well. Yeah. Actually, yeah, work. Okay, so we're gonna need an impact. I just picked this one. Dime.
¿Cómo vas a ir de tu podcast? O sea, algo puedes hacer, ¿no? Yo creo que...
Que darle mucha gana, ¿verdad?
Pero no sé cómo lo organizo eso.
Vale. Impact and some slushiness, which we can pick from. I had these library effects. Can you guys hear anything? No. Dang it.
C'est pas juste minutes.
Oops. Go. Okay, so I have these library slushing sounds, which I pulled up right here. Okay, and as you can see, it's just this kind of stuff. And I grabbed a little bit. We're gonna mix it with our impact, which we're going to down pitch a bunch.
Sideways. Yeah.
The image is not really coming through in my songs. It's very shady impact.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not gonna use that. Let's go to more impact. That's better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, we got something. Yeah. Let's make this louder, down pitch it just a little bit. And what I really like to use also is this I'm very sorry. Right now I feel like I'm not explaining what I'm doing. That's because they just told me that I will have my sound and I'm going really fast. There we go. Okay, so I just pulled up a sound effect that gives me more body to the kick. Okay, so when I combine these two, okay, now we got something great. And I'm just gonna export it as is because we're running out of time. We have, what's the name of this? Boss attack. Yeah. For some reason, it doesn't let me paste. Monster boss attack. Is it like this? Yeah, great. Oh, it doesn't matter? Great. That's all. Let's put it all here. Save. Great. Next up. When it gets hurt. Now we're gonna use Jack's fantastic vocals. Yeah. Thank you, Jack. It's these. Let's see. Let's take a listen.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I think that's the one. I just take this. Great. Usually you'd want to be a lot more clean with what you're doing, but you don't have to. So let's get a little bit of sloshing, I think, also. Yeah. I know it was the guard wing.
Two.
Yeah. So we're grabbing this one. This one's great. If anybody needs voice acting, hire Mr. Jack. The breaks. Charts. Okay, we have some more burgling. Copy. All right. And one more? Give me one more? Or are you good with this? Okay, no. Yeah. Yeah, let's grab this one. Okay, so what I'm doing here is that Natasha's asking me to separate all these sounds, bounce them separately. So what we're gonna have is these 6 individual sound clips. And this is one of the fantastic things that we can do with using FMOD and middleware for audio, is that we're gonna treat these 6 sound clips. I don't know why my computer does that. But we're gonna treat these 6 sound clips differently. We wanna export them individually. And then every time that you hit the boss, a different combination of these clips is gonna play. So you're gonna have, I don't know, you do the math, but lots of more combinations.
More variety.
Yes, a lot more variety of sounds, and it's gonna be less boring. Great, let's do it. Let's see if I downpitch these just a little bit.
And also, if you're gonna need to process each layer separately, it's way easier to do it afterwards. Sorry. Yeah. Fantastic! It's like you are the monster.
Monster boss pain. 1.
Yeah, it's very useful to keep your naming.
2.
Yeah, to keep your naming the same as in the event list, that sheet that we've been showing it at the very beginning, because especially if you're not working alone, if you're working as a team, and if somebody else is going to implement your sound, or if you're just working as a team as we are now, it's way easier for everybody to just see how it's named on the table, and that's it. Instead of just asking, like, what did you mean by that? Like, yeah, pain, or is it heat, or is it damage, or something like that. Yeah.
All right. Next we have Monster Bus Summon, and this is the one that I wanted to use actually a little bit of the cracking sound of the pepper with the sloshing sounds that I have from my library. So we have some sloshing. This bit here I like. I'm just gonna chop it, and we're gonna grab a little pepper. Yeah! Tell me that doesn't sound like an egg. Monster egg.
Yeah, a side effect of working with audio, you always keep hearing more noises than you used to before you started recording.
Okay, let's listen to it. That's great. I'm gonna bring down the sloshing a bit. Yeah, I hear it. Okay, this is a great opportunity to teach you about EQing. Equalizers, in case you don't know, are fantastic little, there we go. Fantastic little devices that let us pick which parts of the sound we want to keep and which we don't. So in this case, I'm going to take it out a little bit. Everything that's on this side of the blue curve, I'm going to keep, and everything that's outside, I'm going to take away. So let's see how it sounds now. Okay, explain better. Sound is made of lots of frequencies at the same time, right? Right? Yeah, cool. Or we've all played with an amp, or with the settings in our car. You have the bass, middle, and treble, right? Well, that's sort of like this, but we can get super, super precise with which parts of the audio we take and we remove. So much so that... No.
Me estoy guiando por la rama.
Please don't go soup.
Okay. Well, so much so that we can get really fine spice of stuff. Okay, so
So basically, we're getting rid of bass stuff that was going on
Yeah.
around here while we were recording because we don't need it.
exactly. Or if you hit the microphone, sometimes you'll have that, and you don't want that, so you can just remove it with a cue.
Ish.
But that's basically your cracking egg sound effect. Monster Bus Summon. No, it's not summon. It's egg pain. Egg pain. Okay, which next one's the bell? Yeah, let's do monster flying pain. Yeah, flying pain.
Please, very quiet.
So much an. Thank you.
Fantastic. These are amazing. How many of these do you want? I'll give you 3. Okay. Okay, great. I'm just gonna pull them out. And I had some insect sounds. Do I have time to put the insect sounds? She'll put them. We're just gonna export this as is.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry guys. I feel like we took so much time recording that now I can't take as much time as I want to.
You guys on the physically help too.
Why do you make it some kids? How violations music usable and video.
Pues claro, el que te das en YouTube.
Ya, ¿verdad? Vale.
Sí. Sí. Okay.
Okay, so since we're running out of time, we've decided that, and I guess I'm going to be doing this while Aleix does his part. You can get really, really fancy with this. I'm very sorry that I feel like I haven't shown the depth of what you can go with sound design. It's not just this. It's not just, I'm going to cut these sounds, put one on top of the other. You can do really, really cool stuff with plugins and effects and repitching and ring modulation and all sorts of modulations and getting really fine with pitch modulation curves and all sorts of things that maybe we don't have time to show. But I think you've got an idea of how creative you can get at home with recording your own Foley sound effects and food and what you can do with food. So I'm going to keep working while Aleix comes on stage. Thank you.
Yay. All right. So this is the music part. Right, I'm showing the software now that I'll use to make the music. So while this is loading, I'll talk a bit about music. So as every good developer knows, music can be a very important part of what we make the player feel. So it's a great tool to guide the player to the emotions we want them to feel. And in this case, we have, sorry, I misnamed the file. In this case, we have this combat, right? So this gives us different emotions. Like we have the idea of action, we have violence, we have motivation, we have killing, we have helping friends, we have the idea of doing the right thing. And music, different kinds of music, could highlight different ideas, each one of these ideas. But in this case, we're going to go for more normal approach and make combat music. So usually the first thing when you work with a composer, thing I do with my clients as a composer is we talk about what ideas they had in mind about what they want the players to feel. And if they don't know, we come up with an idea, we discuss it. And in this case, I'm going to go for, as I said, for a combat vibe, a bit like Final Fantasy, a bit more serious, a bit of a normal thing. Like something you would expect from here, but I will also add it a touch of Middle Eastern, North African music to reflect that's a desert, and it's a stereotype, but it's used a lot in these kind of things. Desert, North African, Middle East kind of vibe. So we'll see. We'll add a touch of that. But in general, will be like a kind of RPG, Final Fantasy soundtrack. The thing I have in mind. Right. So let's get started. I started off an idea. I prepared this project with the software I will use, with the plugins I'll use already prepared, because otherwise it would take forever. And making a track like this could take days, weeks, or even months. But now I'll try to make it in 20 minutes. So wish me luck. So this is a DAW, and it's like here, like in Unity, I have many different plugins that I can use to do different themes. The thing we do the most as composers, is to emulate the sound of instruments. Like, for example, that's why we can emulate a real orchestra, for example, without the budget for a real orchestra, because no indie ever has a budget for that. Not sometimes, but very rarely. For example, here I have a plugin that allows me to emulate the sound of a viola. I'll not get into the technical side, just very quickly show you how it makes noise.
Bueno.
Can you hear it? Can you hear it well? So each note is I can play different notes from a viola. That someone recorded each note of a viola before here, so I can use it now. And now I want to have something like that. So yeah, this is how we compose music. So I'll make this, because as you can see, I can place the notes and then I can play them. Right? And what I'm going to do here is make something that sounds like the thing I sang. First we have this. Boring, so we'll give it some, I'll change the volume of each note. And just see. Now we have a rhythm here. Just a second. Now. Right. That's it. Now, so I'll copy this many times. If this was like I had more time, I would just be more ticky-sumikis with each note, but now we don't have it, so we're going to copy paste. Crazy. So now we have this. Let's add another violin, 2 more violins. I'm going to copy this, and now have a different instrument here. Good boy. Now let me see. Let me take a toca here. Right? Super interesting, right? And now I'll make it so that later it becomes a bit more melodic and interesting. So it'll be we'll get better, guys, don't worry. Now for the musicians, I have in mind here I'll play E minor, V chord, G, and A chord. And this will be like the same on top here. Diet, nothing more interesting. And finally, the last violin part will be something like. It makes sense in my head, believe me. Right, so I have this. Nó mình copy it again. Right. Right, so we have something that's kind of like the structure of a song. I'm starting first, more like, it's kind of growing in intensity basically. But this sounds still boring as fuck. So we need more action. We need to make it first more epic with some epic doomsday horns. So the cool thing of the software like this is that it really allows you to imitate almost any instrument you want. And many games nowadays use this kind of thing. Like almost every indie uses this kind of thing. And they also use, they mix these virtual instruments, that's called these emulations, with real instruments. Like I'll show you later, I have a guitar here, and later I'll show you how we can add some real instrument here. So it's not all fake. For example, right, with very big. Still, it's missing a lot. I mean, if we see the image, nah, can't wait to hear the sound effect of this. It gives a feeling of action, right? But it still is quite weak. So we need drums. We'll add some drums here. This is when this will come to life. All right, let's see. Let me know if it's too small actually, because some of you are a bit far. This is a drum kit, like typical rock metal drum kit, right? I have all the sounds here. So, going to make this, the drums are going to follow this rhythm of tum 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 ta 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 ta. So I'm going to not that, sorry. Copy paste. Right, now it sounds like a clap. We don't want that. Make it more subtle. And then we'll add big toms, big drums. And we want the, let's see, dun 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 dun. Run. Right. We need to adjust a bit the intensity of the things. Getting there.
Going.
And this one actually, I'll see now make it like this. We're going for a kind of tribal feel here, actually. Right, something with leather now. And oh, it's loud. The cymbal. Dun, dun, dun. No one. There we go. Copy this, copy this, copy this, copy this. Actually, we don't have time, so I'm going to copy this for you. Yes. And then later we'll get live. For a moment I thought you guys were trying to kick me out already. Stop it already, get out of here. Right, now let's make it a bit more metal. I have some bass here, because I like... My idea would use a real bass, but we don't have time nor bass. So I'm going to use an emulation of bass, which I really like. I use this in many projects, because don't tell anyone that I don't have a bass. But all my soundtracks have bass. I'm going to copy paste, and it's going to copy paste. I'm changing intensity now. Dun, 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 dun. And now I'm going. So now this sounds like this. Yeah, right. Metal, but not cool. And now I need to give it some more melodic stuff to be. I'm really improvising a lot here. Let's hear it. All right, with drum. Open this. Cool. I'm liking it. And then at the end, when things get a bit more melodic, at the ending when it gets more motivating, I have to change it, otherwise it will not fit. And I'm going to Mi menor, re, mi, here, sol, you know. Good. It's getting there. How are we doing into a time? Well, I think it's okay. Right, so now what about the middle thing? Sorry? 10 minutes. Me sobran 5 minutos.
5 minutes. And then
I'm going to add the Middle East vibe here, but I don't have Middle East instruments here. So here I'm going to do something that we sometimes do. I'm not a big fan of this, but it's sometimes needed for some projects. I'm going to use a loop from that someone has recorded from an online library of sounds. I'm going to use this old sound. Sorry, no, I'm going to first add the percussion, the darbuka and dunbek. These are like kind of traditional North African, Middle Eastern instruments. I'm going to use this. And I have this loop already prepared, had in mind, because I used it in another project, in another game before, and I knew I wanted to use it here. This is how it sounds. Right? So I do this sometimes when I need to use, the client wants something like a specific instrument from a specific culture that's extremely rare to get. So I use like recordings from other people, or I hire others to do this. But it's only in very specific cases. Let's see how it fits here. Bring on the doodler field. Great. And of course, now, I also have this. An oud, an instrument many people really like. Opa, not this. Right, seems like there's something with it. That's great.
He
Nice. And now I'm going to sing what I do is a bit these ones, and then they will come back in again. Yeah, we're almost done actually. It was quite fast again. And now I'll record some guitar to show you that you can also use that we also use real instruments like physical instruments. I mean these things. And again, when the budget allows, we get entire orchestras and all of that. But most times it's a combination of emulations and real instruments to make it more affordable. And copy paste a bit more, why not? And that's it. Let's take the guitar, yeah. Okay, just give me a second.
you too. Excuse. But he's. Oh, there you go.
I used to play in a metal band, as you can tell. Okay. Shit, I've never played guitar with one of these. She's very quick leads.
Oh, let's do this.
Okay. Right. So, tuning guitar is my least favorite part ever. Oh man, I forgot the pick. Doesn't matter. Hey, how many of you here are musicians? Oh, and who makes music for video games? What are those? Hello, friends. Yeah. Who's a guitar player? Iron's a guitar player.
I don't play, but I have the Wazzy.
You kinda use it.
No, I don't.
Right, so it has a bit, because of the way we have it set up here, it has a little bit of delay, so I cannot play crazy stuff. But so I'll play something simple. Let's put it out. Alright, let's go! just realized it's getting a bit long. I should make it. I'll take out some of these parts. I'll take out this. Not a good sign if I get bored with my own music, so we have to fix it. There we go. This will loop anyway, so this will be infinite. Right, let's go. I fucked up. Cool. One more time, and we have it. Thank you for the lifting. Let me just very quickly. Oh, this is pretend I played this well. Okay. Yeah, this will do. Right. Shoulder. Next, just quick change. Do this here. And that's it. So, yeah, here we have the music. I'll export it so we can implement everything and move on with our lives and mundane.
Can you maybe export bass and percussion?
Sorry?
Can you maybe export like more dynamic layer
Oh,
for the bass and percussion?
Yeah.
And then everything else.
I could do that. Okay, do you want to show stuff while I export? So you can start showing things and I'll be exporting on the side?
Yeah.
Because it's boring, you see people almost off. Yeah, bye.
Sage.
Thank you, everyone.
What you can see now on the right side of me is a beautiful example of why we need audio producers, because while our composer is doing the music and our sound designer is doing the sound design, me as a technical audio designer, I am preparing everything to be implemented into the game itself, actually. So of course we start with Unity. Well, in this situation, Unity. You can use Godot.
Who's Raspberry Pi? Right.
I'm ready.
Okay, so we're getting the fonts. Oh, that's good. First of all, now my good job. Sit here and face what you've done. So yeah, I'm not gonna dive deep because we only have like half an hour to implement everything that we can. I'm not gonna dive deep into how you implement FMOD. You can like find a lot of information on that. Basically, you can just go from here into the package asset store and find FMOD asset and just install it into Unity. So it's here. Yeah. Why is it not on
Because my mic doesn't work.
Oh, there, okay. So instead of just music files like BUF or MP3, FMOD is actually working with events that kind of look like what you've been seeing before, like what Alesh was working in, what Claudia was working in, but it is actually connected to the game itself. Thank you, Fernando. Due to the magic of Unity. So, if you have everything connected properly and set up in the correct manner, and all the banks are in. What we have now, it's already been prepared, of course, is we have this monster boss sound effect info where you can see all the events from FMOD that has been already connected here. Like, let's say this is a boss attack with the tone. It already has a boss attack event here because I have created it here. Where is it? Yeah. Monster boss attack. It already has the sounds, but yeah, we're gonna change them into the good ones. So, let's see what we have. Where is it? SFX. Okay. I think I can. Oh, no, okay. Don't worry here. So, yeah. And also, we have the scene in the Unity. Not every sound designer is lucky enough to have the scenes prepared for them, to be honest. So, big kudos for the guys who made Outcast Tales, actually. So, they actually did that. We have the scenes prepared for each individual monster, and that made a whole lot of progress easier to work with. I guess the sound safe. Yeah? Oh my god.
Can you give me the...
Ballistic. Yeah. It's here? Yeah, it's here. Brilliant. Here you go.
Only 100 sound.
Just 100 sounds. And that's one boss. Okay. So what we're doing now is we're taking everything, we're taking everything that Claudio created, and we are putting it here in the assets folder of FMOD. Got a trading folder. So Claudio. Oh, well. And we gonna drag everything into this folder. So in order to put these sounds into the events, well, we first need to have them in our asset bin. So this is the boss attack. And this is how it looks in the game.
I think also need to...
I really should be betting money on these.
Yeah, as I said before, everything here has been already, has already sounded. Thank you. So far, oh, I didn't need to, sorry, I didn't need to turn it on yet, because we need to put your music. Yeah, sorry. So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna open the monster attack. And we're gonna add monster attack. Sound here. This one, right?
Yes.
That's
Are you looking down?
lickety town. Can we hear it? Right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's the whole one, right?
We just don't have one in this case.
Yeah, we have one. It's okay, right? But if I say I'm a technical designer in this project, and I see how this attack should looks like. Where is it? Yeah, here. And I see that in this sound that I'm hearing, maybe some swooshing is missing. Just for some reason, I don't know. I could ask Claudio to do the swoosh, but maybe we need to be done this whole project for tomorrow. So I can just add additional swoosh layer from a library, which I already have. Yeah, like this swoosh layer. Right. So now we have went up.
I like that.
Yeah, and you can. But the beauty of FMOD that you can change the timing of the sound without changing anything else. So this will be our boss attack. What else we have? Boss paint, right, with the amazing jack vocals. So here we have voice, and This is boss.
Gargles and vocals.
Gargles and vocals. As Claudia already mentioned, this is going to be gargles. By using a multi-instrument feature of FMOD, every time the event is called, we're gonna have a random sound out of this list. So, which is fun. And we can add some randomization on pitch. Just we can go crazy. Or we pitch it even after if it's been delivered by a sound designer in the FMOD. Okay, but for that moment we can we'll just put it like that. And we're doing the same in vocals. And it sounds like this. Amazing. Okay, let's see Monster Boss when it's summoning something, right? Okay. Yeah. Okay. I think we can also add the gargles from the vocals. Yeah. Yeah. Reuse is a beautiful thing to have here as well, as any sound designer is going to tell you. Reuse is the shit. Damn. And I think we will add some effects. I'd say maybe some fun. You can barely hear it, right? But just a little bit. Okay, balls and a summoning sound. And that's the cabbage, right?
Cabbage plus lobby plus a... Oh. That's...
Autist.
Not smart enough. We have some carriage, some water splashing sounds.
I think it's like each layer of those two, maybe something else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And what else we have for the boss? The attack, the summon, and the pain. We did that.
Done.
Great. I'm gonna delete all the layers that we're not using, just for a moment. And let's see how it sounds. Well. Oh, the music. Yeah, I will turn on the music just for so we can hear the effects, okay? But first I will export it too. It's here. No drums. Oh, okay. Good. They have all the arches.
What's wait? Let's see first as you did.
When are we gonna integrate the music? We'll do that. So, the boss sounds are in the game, but not the small things that he's doing, right? So far only boss. Right. Yeah, that's the fun part. The coolest part that we have here in FMOD, but the coolest part actually of using any audio engine is here, this light that they're syncing. So we're not only adding all the sounds here in this interface of FMOD. When we are in the game, we can change how it sounds. Like, let's say, can you hear anything? Can we make that? Yeah, thanks. Because I think it's. Yes. Okay. Yeah. pay attention to only the sounds of the boss now. Huh? How cool is that? Ah, perfection. But let's say I want to add more bubbles right now without quitting the game, without changing any assets like in Unity, without touching the Unity basically. We're in the live update mode on, so we're going back to our monster paint sound. Yeah, one more bubbles. Just more and more bubbles. And more high pitch. Yeah, we changed it here. Let's see how it sounds now. What? Nah, it was bad before, I think, but still. So yeah, and let's hear our attack and our summon sound. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Probably. The tongue needs more tongue. Okay. So, yeah, we already, I don't think I need to explain the ambience, right? Because you basically do the same, you create the event, but if you're doing the ambience, you also need to add the loop and region, but we're gonna get back to that when we're gonna talk about the music, right? So, yeah, let's also implement the egg, the fly, yeah, same thing, and the egg rate, monster flying paint. Again. Yeah, making fun of. Oh, so cute. Perfect. Thank you, David. Thank you. Okay, this is gonna be our flying creature. And we. Yeah, but it's not been summoned yet, so that's why we cannot hear it in the game. And also, let's put the paint of the waterfall here as well. Yeah. Where is it? This. Okay. Yeah, we got two. Sure. Again, since we're putting them together in this multi-instrument, every time it's called is a different sound. We had a little bit of truth. Cute. Thank you, our voice actors. And the cracking of the egg, right?
No, we will aim or some.
We can do both.
Okay.
Oh, nice. This is summon. And this is pain, sorry. This is pain. And this is summon. And this is why you need to keep the naming of the files very strict with everybody you're working with, especially your brain. Yeah, the summon sound here. Okay. Nice.
In this case, now that I'm thinking about it, it might have been better to send Natasha the cracking and the vocal parts separately. So sorry about that.
So you
so that we
can
can
get
get the timing of the animation perfectly with but that's another way to do it. If you don't want to get too complicated, you could just put a lot more files on.
Yeah, but even if you're using like the simplest, just like this, like one effect, it's still a good idea to use FMOD, because if the timing is not correct, you can just, you can just put it like here. You don't have to rebuild everything, and you don't have to rebounce the files, and you can hear how it sounds immediately in the game. So yeah, we have Exxon, and what else I do? Oh yeah, the flying monster also have the idol. What did you use for the idols now?
Shamelessly, still something from a library.
Okay. But if you could use the Foley, what would you use for that? So yeah, and I'm putting here the loop region because it's gonna be just looping in the idle mode in the background.
I'm sorry, I didn't show. These is just a bunch of physics cards.
Yeah. And the monster fly and attack. Right. Oh yeah. Great. Is it somebody's voice as well?
Here we have some subtapper squishing. A little mosquito that I downloaded off of YouTube. And a little impact also. A little bit of impact that we did with the jacket.
Cool.
But in this case, I didn't pitch it down because it's a little stinger, right? It's like it's not the same as the boss attacking you. It's a little fly, so we want to keep the impact smaller also. It's less consequence.
Yeah, and this is the sound of the larvae going underground.
Yeah.
Okay, now everything is a good build. Let's see how it sounds. What about the pain sound of the larva? Aww, super cute. Yes. And yeah, we didn't do anything about this guy, right? Yeah, because I would pick 2 out of 5. Yeah. Hey, creepy the fly, dude! Come on. I want to fly in. Okay. Come on, where's the foreign guy? Okay, I'll try to reload the scene. Maybe it's gonna be better because sometimes this boss behaves weirdly and does not summon every minion he has. But we'll see. Let's see. Oh, amazing. All right. Some. Come on, dude. Huh? You can hear nuts. Nice. So cute. I think it's beautiful. Oh, no, I missed. All right. Okay. Let's talk music. Thank you, Claudia. Thank you. So yeah, come here. As for the music.
Hola. Back.
Oh wow.
No sé.
What's dramatic. No, that's okay. Sure, it's okay. Okay. So, we have your music here. As you hear, I asked Flash to make two different layers of his music. One without the drums, and another is drums on beat. In order to be more, flexible in what I want to do with the music, because, and it's a very common situation in the video games, that sometimes battle can get more or less dynamic. What? 5 minutos más.
It's kind of a lot. We have to hurry.
It's not a lot. So we have the bass layer here.
Yeah, so basically what we're doing here is we have the music separated in 2 parts. And when the combat gets more intense, we add the extra part on top of it to make it more intense. That's called adaptive music. It's used a lot in modern music.
That's super. Super, thank you. So I'm adding the action parameter, and this is just the one line of code, right, in Unity.
Yeah, very easy to implement.
Just the parameter, and everything else is made here, not in Unity. So it's super easy to do. And we're adding an automation here, which is gonna be depending on the intensity. We have like action parameter, and when action is 1, the second layer comes in. Without it,
we got to get up yet first?
yeah. And we can, and we can decide how fast, how pulsing it will change, like that. Or it might be super slow, so it's like fading. Of course, we can do more parts than just 2, but this is like basic. So okay, let's hear everything together how it sounds. Of course, it's not mixed yet, but the mixing is also very adaptable. It's super easy to do in FMOD. I hope it's not too up. And the music is a little bit like side chain, so I guess slightly quieter when the attack is going on, and go back. How cool is that? So after that, all 3 rounds, or if like the health of your heroes are getting low, the action parameters change. Now it's clear, right?
You're not. It's good.
It should be. Yeah. Yeah, why? Weird.
Yeah, we broke FMOD. It's so good at what kind of oh my god. Now we're there. It's fully custom.
They did a little bit perfectly there. So, yeah. That's more or less.
So we made the audio to this in a record time. That's like the fastest crunching ever. Yeah. So let's have some questions. We have some minutes left. Did you guys have any questions?
Around 5 questions.
That was kind. Any questions? Wait. I'll wait for this.
Just do, yeah.
Okay. How do you do mixing?
In general.
For games and in the music or whatever.
Well, yeah, in FMOD, you have the mixer window here. So you can create all the groups of events. Like in here we have music, narration, and sound already done, and can be routed very easily to your actual menu, like here.
Are you talking about mixing like sound effects and music, or specifically music when you're making music?
I mean, in games. So I understand mixing means how do you, when there's multiple sounds, how do you put the volume of each sound? And I guess in games you do it dynamically. And I'm wondering, across all games, what's the common things that are like common practice, basic things?
Well, that's a hard question. But a couple of minutes. I'm not gonna help you a lot in mixing, but generally speaking, mixing, whether it's in music or in games, mixing means that nothing has to stand out too much, so everything is balanced. It's all balancing. You're gonna have a lot of things. You're gonna do effects, EQs, change volume, do a lot of different stuff, but the final objective is always balance. That's it.
Yeah, that is true. And yeah.
I would say a lot of trial and error. As you've seen, if you use FMOD, you can live preview what's happening in the game and make changes in real time. So, okay, I put this sound effect for this boss, but when I hit it, it's not loud enough. Okay, so I just bring it up in my FMOD until I hear it enough. It's just a bunch of trial and error. This is too quiet. Okay, bring it up. This is too loud. Bring it down. And just trusting your ears, taking breaks.
And it has to be dynamic, yeah, that's true.
So are you talking about just adjusting volumes, or like adding?
I did priority maybe. Yeah, you can also put like a compressor on one sound so it's gonna be quieter if something else is on. Like with the music, yeah, the music goes a little bit quieter when the kit is on, and then it will back.
I mean, there's a lot of things you can do actually.
Yeah.
I can tell you more later because that's.
Yeah,
okay.
Like one advice I will always give you: put limiter on your master, just in case. Just always put limiter on your master.
It can get really complex, but at the end of the day, if your volume, the most basic, if your volumes aren't right, you're not going to fix it with fancy things. So get your volumes right, and then you're getting it fancy compressors and this and that and the other.
Yeah.
Any other question?
One. Okay.
Okay, guys, so thank you so much for the presentation on this Untitled what you guys just did in a couple of minutes. So this question comes up from something that Ares was talking about, the emotional journey of the sound design and the music. So as I think most of the room here is not a sound designer nor a composer, what advice did you give us to approach you guys? Like, do you guys think that we as developers should have references or stuff like that? How can we improve that relationship? And also, when would you guys want to work like as soon as possible, I guess, but I think that's something that most of the developers can leave for last minute. So if you guys give us any insights in that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think so. Very quickly, sharing references is always good. Communication with the composer or sound designer is number one thing. So that's why you should work with someone who you connect well with, communicating. Using references is cool. If you have ideas, tell them, explain them, spend time talking with them. If you don't have any ideas, it's cool too. It's their job to come up with them, so it's fine. Yeah, lastly, I think you should have, as early as possible, have a composer or sound designer there. Doesn't mean they should start 100% working from the beginning, because it's usually done faster than programming and art sometimes. Have it from 2/3 onwards at the very least. Half of the game is okay, but if you can have them from the beginning, it's better because you can plan better how the game will be, and you can make sure they will be available for you when the time comes.
Yeah. And also you can get some ideas about audio decisions, like some interesting solutions using audio that you cannot come up with without an audio professional on your team. And also on a pre-production stage, you can do this event stuff. So you will be, you can plan and you budget your stuff. Because as I said at the very beginning, you think it's only 20 tops sound effects, and then you see a sound design how do I get 100 of them? Why? And then you see why, because you see the list. Anything else you won't get? No.
Thank you for the questions.